have John Van Limbeek joining us from Abbott Wealth Management. Welcome back to the show, John.
Thank you.
How was your summer? Good?
It was summer.
Yeah,
the summer that was.
The
or
summer
was it? It wasn't.
That shortly was.
Yeah,
so short.
September is the holding up to be true.
It is. It's good so far. Right now it is. We're talking today a little bit about defining value when it comes to our investments.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's not the hardest thing, but one of the hard things that we got to look at is trying to figure out what's important to you versus maybe what we deliver or don't deliver, right? And everything's different. You know, how do you value a $200 pair of jeans versus a $40 pair of jeans? You know, or a car that's 100 grand versus 20 grand still gets you to the same point. Right. Right. And you're trying to make sure that it's a little easier when you can touch something, like a jeans or a car or a house or something like that. A little harder where you can't touch something unless you actually have it written down or something like that. So everyone's a little different that way in regards to what they value, what they want out of the relationship. And it's just trying to figure out what you're paying for to what you're getting, for sure. So how do you make a good decision then? How do you decide? That's the key, right? Exactly. I mean, your decisions could be, there could be 10 steps to your decisions or to what you're looking for versus maybe 2. And if I'm going down the 10-step process without being clear with you, and you only need 2, we're on 2 different pages. Right. And we're never going to deliver the value you're looking for. Or you're going to pay too much or not pay enough, or you wish you had something different.
So when we're talking about our values, are we talking about what we choose to invest in, what strikes a chord with us in terms of what we want to invest in?
Necessarily,
or how much?
Yeah, not necessarily investing, but just what you're looking for, right? Are you just looking for the investment portion, or are you looking for everything else, estate planning, risk management, advice for buying real estate. It goes on and on kind of thing, right? And that's one of the hard things to sort out. It's kind of like defining your goals. Our job is to try to figure out what those goals are and time frames. We talked about that before. But then it comes down to the value versus the price, or what you're doing or what you're paying for, because everyone's paying something. People come in and will say, I'm not paying that. It's like, no, you are paying that. I mean, nobody's doing anything for free. It's just a matter of what are you paying and what are you getting, right? And trying to marry those together so you actually see where that value is.
Absolutely. For sure. And that is our question of the week this week, if we could put that up on the screen. How do we define value? So I guess what the most important thing is that you make sure that your representative understands what your values are, because they may not be aligned with what your investors are. Some people beat along sort of the path of a very traditional value system, and others say, no, I don't really care about that. I care more about this.
Absolutely. And if you're only looking for one portion, why do you need to pay for the other 8 portions kind of thing, right? You don't go you don't go look for a very expensive car in a used car dealership or vice versa. Or if your house range is the same thing. Those, like I said, those are easy to quantify, but it's a little harder in our world, but it just takes time. They're there. It's just a matter of what's important to you. Coming to us, trying to figure what that is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. Good advice for and people of any age. I think your values become more defined as you get older. I remember when I started to invest in my early 20s, I thought, I don't care, you just tell me what to do. But as you get older, you sort of understand where it is your life path is taking you and what's more important. So.
And the more pieces of the puzzle kind of come in.
Right.
Yeah, you're not so worried about, retirement income when you're 22.
Yes.
When you're 52, a little bit more of a, what does that look like now?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right, for sure.
I remember being in my early 20s, I'm like, whatever, I'll never be 50. I don't need to worry about RSPs. Yeah. But when you're working, they force you into it a little bit. Not force you, but you're lucky enough to have a plan that...
Suggest,
yeah, so you have to be grateful for that when you get a little older.
Yeah, absolutely.
You and I are both still very young, though, right, John?
Middle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lower middle.
Lower middle.
We are out of time. If you have any questions for Abbott Wealth, the information is on the screen along with the phone number 372-3736. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.